That when we then established ourselves in Brisbane, we were charging $85 to clean the gutters of an average low-set three-bedroom house. And people really did laugh at us. So you're never going to get $85. We get the kid down the road to come up and do it and give him $20 and, sure, okay, well, we're charging 85. So here we are now, 20 odd years later, that same house is about $350 and people will queue up for 2 or 3 weeks to get it done. So yes, you can make a good living out of Gutter-Vac and of cleaning gutters. It's not the only thing we do, but it is our core business, and it's the business that does most of the revenue. We're well over $30 million a year now as a group, and the franchisees are happy in themselves, and they, the early stage, the greenfield franchisees take 12, 18 months to put roots down and really start to go, but once the roots have dug in, it's a great growth business, yes.
Mm. And we'll talk a little bit more about, initial investments in franchising and things as we go along. But, I had someone yesterday asking me about that, and I actually used Gutter-Vac as the example. And I said, I know franchisees who most people get caught up in revenue, and so they see a franchise group and they go, oh, they're doing 2 million revenue. And I'm like, I know Gutter-Vac franchisees who are doing, maybe a quarter of that revenue, but they're making more profit as a dollar figure, not even a percentage, but as a dollar figure than some people who are in franchise groups where they might be doing $1.5, $2 million of revenue. And this I think is the key that most people miss in a service-based business is actually your profit margin is so much higher and what's potential. So when we think about that, what do you think the keys are for a franchisee to make the best profit from a service-based business? What are the keys to being highly profitable?
Well, one of the obvious things is no rent. You're not paying landlords rent, or you're not in food and retail, you're in the shopping centres, so their rent, square meterage, and it's I can't imagine why anyone would do it, but anyway, they do. In the service-based industry, there's some of the suppliers that do just mobile, and some do mobile and stores. So there's a combination. Gutter-Vac is purely business to customer and business to business. So we have both, but we don't need retail. I must say, a couple of our bigger franchise partners have got a warehouse because they've got 7 machines. They can't put them all in those in the front yard, and the councils don't like it either. The neighbours certainly don't like it. So they'll rent a warehouse, but it's not like normal retail. So the average franchise, in most cases, has no upfront running costs as far as rent goes. They have a very high percentage of margin because it's them. So we don't have a lot of products. We don't, you don't have to buy these products to make a living. You can just clean gutters, and you've got your equipment, and you've got a hose, and that's it. So margins can range from 70% down to 20%, just depending on what your underlying running costs are. But very low cost to the business to run the business.
Really? I mean, your major cost is how many staff you have. Like,